Thank you. I agree with Mr. Marcus as well with regard to that. And I also agree that there's no one on this committee on this issue that has as much passion as Mr. Schneider, and I will yield to him my remaining time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm going to pick up where I left off. I asked Mr. Marcus about what he'd seen in the past. Professor Davidi, you've kind of been outspoken and you've experienced it. And first, let me apologize. I conflated Columbia with Cornell. I know, Talia, you graduated from Cornell, as did you, Professor Davidi, so, but you're at Columbia now. And we saw this almost with a flip of a switch on October 7th, the protests come out. Can you touch a little bit on what you saw on October 7th and 8th on Columbia as far as what the protests, including from professors, look like?
Yeah, actually, I disagree with the premise. This was not a switch that changed. This is something that has been for decades. There's been a movie in 2004 called Columbia Unbecoming about the anti-Semitic professors, many who I have mentioned in my testimony. Columbia has known about this and done nothing about that. You asked about protests before. Well, in 2005, or starting in 2005, Professor George Saliba used to cancel classes so his students can attend anti-Israel protests. What we have seen is not a switch, it's just an increase in the vehemence. And it actually points to the question Mr. Schweikart asked of what snapped. Nothing snapped. If you look around, the vast majority of your colleagues, both Democrats and Republicans, are not here. They didn't see this as a top priority. So their constituents and the students around the country, they see that anti-Semitism, support for terrorism, is not a priority for the House. So why wouldn't they go and protest?
Okay, thank you. I am going to challenge you, though.
Yeah.
We have oftentimes 2, 3 hearings all at the same time. There's
Exactly.
a budget hearing going on as we're talking now.
That's why I said a priority. I didn't say they don't want to be here. They have other priorities.
It's not a matter of priority. We come, we go, people will be here. You'll see them coming throughout this. This is a priority. That's why we have this hearing. It is a priority. That's why we have had legislation come to the floor. And we need to make sure it stays a priority. We elevate it. And as Mr. Larson said, this is something that on both sides of the aisle, in this committee, Republicans and Democrats are focused on.
I respectfully disagree. I have to say I respect, their priorities are, the top priority is where you show up, and this is not the top priority. It's a second, third, or fourth priority.
Mr. Davidi, I completely agree with you. I believe members of this committee were asked to serve on this committee, and they should be present, and it's all about priorities. We're busy people, but this is the most important committee in Congress, and that is why people should be in their seats. Dr. Winstrom.